What is going on, my beautiful LARPers and LARPettes? Father's Day is upon us, and I wanted to go over a couple of products here that I think would be a good fit for most of you dads out there, or dog dads, however you want to say it, or you're just some dude that wants to send their significant other link to some cool stuff that you want to get for this Father's Day that's coming up, because there might be sales on some of this stuff. But before I get into all that, I want to thank the channel sponsor, Atlantic Firearms. They are an online pew store that sells a bunch of cool pews, and that's where I get a majority of my pews from. And I actually just picked up a Romanian AK-74. Haven't seen those in a very long time, and I believe they're going to put them up on their website sometime soon. So if you're in the market for a 74 that's a well-built 74, go ahead and check them out and maybe subscribe to their email list or whatever. But they're gonna go really fast, because 74s are extremely hard to come by nowadays. Now, starting off, knives. Everybody wants a knife, everybody has a knife, everybody owns a knife, but I think having a specific knife for a specific purpose is always good to have. Now, this is a SOG Pentagon FX. This is a really cool tactical knife that you can have on your battle belt. But if you didn't want to go that route, you can pick up one of these SOG Tractions here. Very well made little knife, and it's very inexpensive. I think it's about 30 bucks. Quite a few knife options that you can get. I brought out quite a bit just because I don't know what state you're in and what laws there are in your state. Like, there's this Pentagon OTF here that's really cool, but in some states you can't have OTF knives that work like that. So I brought out that. I brought out some fixed blades like this SOG Pillar, really cool. A lot of SOG knives here. I also brought out some cold steel. So SOG is more of the, I guess, tactical or classy looking knives, and then you got cold steel, which is more of this more ridiculous looking knives here. Not ridiculous, they're crazier designs here. With dudes, you got to understand, we like to just have things to just impress our friends or to show off to other people and act cool at a barbecue or something like that. Even though you might have one of these in your pocket that's just a normal knife to open some boxes or whatever you need to, you always want to pull out something cool, right? To show off to your guy friends, like, hey, like, check this out. This is a pocket knife. This is a folding pocket knife from Cold Steel. This is the Espada XL. And I just think having a knife like this is a very cool conversation piece to pull out. And it actually fits pretty well in your pocket. But Espada XL, then you got the Voyager here that I brought out a little earlier. I picked up one of these, and for you ladies out there, this could be another excuse to get yourself something as well. This is a seatbelt cutter here, and this is a window breaker on this side. So if I were to just go ahead and press that up against a window, that will break that glass. The only reason why I say you ladies out there is because my wife is very paranoid of driving her car into a river or a lake or something like that for some reason. So I went ahead and bought this as an excuse to have for her and be like, all right, well, here you go. You can have this little seatbelt cutter thing. And I think it's cool for myself. But next up on the list is magazines. I think that magazines are very underrated, and a lot of people see that they're so abundant that they're like, they're never gonna disappear, and I shouldn't need any type of magazine right now at this point in time. But elections and with arm braces and all this stuff, it always comes down to accessories and gun parts and all this stuff that they want to ban. And a huge one is going to be magazines. A lot of politicians want to ban magazines because they're scary and they hold more than 10 rounds or whatever state that has a stupid law like that has. But it's a product that is something that was overlooked by a lot of people, and now they're all regretting it. So anytime there's like the Freedom Week that they had a couple years ago or something like that, they go all out and buy whatever they can. I think Washington just had something on magazines or something like that too. But regardless, if you have the opportunity to buy magazines that are standard capacity or high capacity, I would suggest you getting as much as you can in your hands, because even though you don't think it's going to happen in your state, it might happen. So Next up is shot timers. Shot timers, I think, are an underrated tool to have just because this is an excellent way to measure your improvements that you're making on the range, whether it's speed, whether it's split times. I feel that having a shot timer in your kit whenever you're shooting should be a staple just because you don't know you're going to get better by yourself, and this shot timer is going to basically show you your progression you're making through time of you training and stuff like that. Now, I can do a whole video on shot timers themselves, but I'm trying to make this video pretty quick. But this is a packed ink shot timer, and this one here is a Shooter's Global shot timer. This shot timer here, I think, is the future of shot timers. Not only is it high quality and well built, but the features in it are also great. It has Bluetooth. It shows you your history on what you've done in the past. You can set this up to give you specific drills. And in the app, you are able to make your own stage plans and stuff like that if you go and compete. Again, this in itself would be a whole video on its own, but if you want me to do a video on this shot timer, let me know in the comments below. But as of now, I think this would be a great Father's Day gift. Shooters Global are great people. And also to add, the Shooters Global is a little bit more expensive than the packed ink. So if you want to just start off with the normal timer, there's nothing wrong with a packed timer. This is around like 150 bucks, and I think this is like 300 bucks. So it's up to you, whatever you want to spend. Next up on the list is a nice pair of shades, right? So lots of people ask me what I'm wearing in my videos, and I'm using these Heat Wave Future Techs here. This is the majority of what I have in all of my videos that look kind of cool and funky and futuristic or obnoxious if you think they're obnoxious. But they also make some pretty nice Ray-Ban looking things here. So it doesn't have to be these heat waves here. That's just my personal preference. But get yourself a nice set of sunglasses for the range. I like these Future Techs here just because they're very large, and even though they look kind of obnoxious, I have a lot more protection around my face here, just in case I get debris or rocks or shrapnel or something that's going to shoot back at me. So number 5 are flashlights. Flashlights are an asset to have in your kit just because you have to be able to see what you are going to be potentially shooting at or walking around. Even if you're not shooting at anything, you got to see what you are potentially going to run into. I have a couple of flashlights here. So I have these two are by Phoenix. Phoenix flashlights are great flashlights. I've had this one here. This is the Phoenix PD32UE. But I've had this one for many, many years, and I've beat the piss out of it. I mounted it on rifles and all that stuff, and it still keeps chugging along. And they're only like 60 or 70 bucks for this flashlight. I think this one is around 1,000 lumens or 1,200 lumens. Then you got other bigger Phoenix flashlights here that are rechargeable. And I have some 511 flashlights that are pretty inexpensive as well. But the one I want to point out is the Surefire Stiletto Pro. This is one of my favorite flashlights just because the shape of it. So the shape of it is very appealing to me just because if you're looking at the shape of this round cylinder flashlight here compared to that, it's flat, right? So when it's in your pocket, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having one of these in your pocket, but just having a flat profiling on a flashlight just feels a ton better. It feels like you're carrying a knife of some sort. So the shape of the Stiletto Pro is my favorite thing about this flashlight, and the performance is really good too. I think it's around 1,000 lumens, but it's also rechargeable, and it also has like a memory where you can set it at a certain setting. Really good flashlight. Little expensive though, so that's why I'm bringing out the other flashlights on the table here, like this Phoenix. There's nothing wrong with this, but it's whether you want a comfortable flashlight versus a cheap flashlight that's still gonna basically do the same thing. It's still gonna light up what you need to light up. And to harp on flashlights, I think having a weapon mounted flashlight is also a great idea to have for your firearms, just because flashlights do go down. So say you have a flashlight like this in your pocket and then this gun here with this flashlight on your gun. Sometimes batteries do go out. Like I think I have one here that has batteries, but it's not turning on. And you want to have some sort of backup light. And it's always a good idea to have two hands on a handgun, right? So last thing you want to do is to pull out a handheld light without a light on your gun, and you have to basically be more proficient with your skills in shooting one-handed. But weapon mounted light, great idea. I have a Surefire X300, which are the more expensive options, but probably the best flashlight or weapon mounted light out there. And for handguns, we can get into rifle lights later on. But the TLR7 sub on the subcompact guns here, and but it really just depends on your budget, like everything else on this table here. But this is 500 lumens, and I think this is around like 150, 180 bucks versus like 300 bucks or something like that there. So who knows what they'll be at for sales, but Streamlight is always going to be your cheaper option versus the Surefire lights. And for your flashlights, you can pick up one of these here. They have more options than this, but this is the Theorem. I don't know how to say their name, but this is the cell vault here. So this holds basically all types of batteries. You can configure this however you want. You could pop these little plastic pieces out and move them in whatever direction you need to. But this holds your CR123s. This holds your 2032, I think. Those little, look like hockey puck little pill things for your like red dots and stuff. But you can buy like these little spare adapters that would hold like AAAs or AA's and all different types of batteries that you can configure this. But I have my night vision set up. I have these flashlights here. I have a lot of things that are dependent on batteries. And the last thing I want to do is search for batteries in my bag and try to figure out if it's working or not, or they're dead batteries or whatever it is. But having something that you can organize with for those batteries is great. But if you didn't want something like this here and want to keep it more simple, you can get a smaller one here that holds CR123As or AA's, and the latch is able to be latched onto like MOLLE and stuff like that. So if you're looking back here, these two will go on to MOLLE panels. I don't have any MOLLE close by me, but you get the point. This goes up and this hooks on, and you can have this like directly on your chest, on a chest rig or something like that, or put it on a backpack that has MOLLE on it. Same with this one here. Just put that, slip that in there, and it'll connect just like that. And next up on the list is a chest rig of some sort. Now I have a couple options here. This is a Haley Strategic Micro, but that one there, and then I have a Strike Industries chest rig here. And then I have this really cool like bandolier looking sling chest rig here from IC13. I believe that's how you say the name. But I'll have links to these in the description so that way I don't make it too confusing. But the Haley Strategic chest rig is a very, very nice rig. This one hooks up to their flat packs. And it also has hooks here so you can make a rig kind of like this one where you can just put this directly on your chest. I love how modular the Haley Strategic ones are. I have my B&T mags here, but I can also swap this out for AR-15 mags. And I have a pouch up front where I can put like my medical and all that stuff there. Oh, and I have a multi-tool right inside here. So going back to the knives in the beginning, a multi-tool is always great to have in your kit because there's always things that I got to use that multi-tool for. But the Haley Strategic one is great. The Strike Industries one is the more cheaper option, but the Strike Industry one has its own magazine inserts on the inside, so it's not really as modular as the Haley Strategic one, but it still does the job. Then you got this front pouch here that can hold some things in there, like a knife or whatever you need to do. And then you got the IC13 invert bandolier thing here. So this is very unique because when you have it on, you can have it on just like this here. Hopefully I'm not hitting the mic. This one, I can put AR-15 magazines in it. I could also put AK magazines in it. The AK magazines are a little bit stiffer to put inside here, but it does work great. Once they're in there, they're super stiff, so when you're running around and stuff like that, it's not gonna fall out on you, and it makes for really fast reloads. Maybe I can bring a video somewhere around here of me doing some reloads with it, but very fast reloads. But basically what you would do if you have your rifle, you just come out and then do that whole thing there. And it also comes with this pouch up here where you can put a med kit if you needed to. And the cool thing about this too is that it has MOLLE all across the front here, so you can take these magazine pouches and move them however you want, or put whatever you needed to. So if I even needed to put this battery pack here for whatever reason, I could put that on there. But very modular little sling here, this little bandolier. So next up on the list is a tourniquet. Everyone out there, guy, girl, whoever you are, I think a general rule of thumb is if you're planning on putting holes into things, things might be planning on putting holes into you, and you want to have a way of plugging those holes, or you want to stop blood from coming out of those holes. So a tourniquet is a staple you should have in your kit regardless of who you are. A cat tourniquet is always a safe go-to to have on you. That's a very reputable company. Very, very great tourniquet. But I want to point out a more unique tourniquet here, which is the Snake Staff Systems ETQ tourniquet. And this one is extremely small. I mean, look at that. Let me bring a flashlight here. This is one of my smaller flashlights. Look at that thing next to that window breaker that I showed you earlier. It is very, very, very small, very compact. You can put it in your pocket. You won't even feel like it's there. And that's one of the biggest things that people don't carry tourniquets on their person, right? You have one of these here and it's kind of too big to stick in your pocket or to have on like an ankle holster or something like that. So you kind of just leave it in the car or something. You never know what situation might arise where you're going to need a tourniquet right then and there, and every second is going to count when it comes to using a tourniquet. So the Snake Staff Systems ETQ is a very nice compact little tourniquet, and they also sell them where the strap itself is a little bit thicker there. But yeah, just go ahead and give that a look. This is like a $30 tourniquet. I think cat tourniquets are like around the same price, so very inexpensive insurance to have for yourself. Now next up is the Victos Upscale Sling bag. This one is one of my favorite sling bags just because I like to shove as much stuff as I can in a small bag, and this one kind of fits my criteria on how much things I could shove in here. So if you open up the first zipper pocket here, I got hand warmers here. Last time I took this out, we were in the snow and I wanted to have hand warmers for my kids. You don't need these in there, but you can shove anything in there, but I just have these just in case. Looking in the first pocket, you can fit a ton of stuff. So I got a pretty big flashlight here. I got a spare magazine. I had this cat tourniquet right here. But I can now put this little Snake Staff Systems tourniquet here to save myself even more space. Very, very nice. And then on the front little pouch here, I have a like survival kit here. Then I also have medical in the back, and then I have a cold steel knife in there as well. So a ton of stuff I can fit in that front pocket there. Then on the top here, you can shove your glasses that you're gonna pick up for Father's Day as well. And then on the main pocket here, this is where you're gonna shove your EDC into. Staccato CS with the flashlight, I can shove that right in there. Has a zipper over it, and you're good to go. You could also unzip it from the other side depending on how you carry. You can configure this however you want, and it also has MOLLE on the back on here if you want to hang some stuff or hang this onto something else like a plate carrier or something like that. So Victos Upscale Sling 2, very, very, very nice pack, and it's not that expensive either. It's like 70, 80 bucks around there. Now, number 10 is going to be something similar to the idea of the magazines, right? You always want to have more magazines because the government's going to try to ban them because they don't want you to have nice things. And with nice things, a way to protect yourself, if it's something that's going to save your life, the government wants to take it away. For some reason, they don't want you to save your own life. They want you to depend on others. And as many of you know, you are your first responder. And with that, body armor is going to be a huge, huge asset to add to your kit. A plate carrier like this here. This is the Audi Gear Low Vis plate carrier. It comes with this section here that you can shove AR-15 magazines. Very slim and lightweight, and it's even more lightweight with these plates I have in here. I have Defender Armor Level 3A plates. These are extremely light, but it only stops pistol rounds. This isn't my primary plate carrier, but I got these a while back when I was testing them with Defender Armor. I put tons of rounds through, in one of these. I didn't go through it, but I think I put like 20 9mm rounds and then like two slugs on this guy with the shotgun. Then I put some 44 mag and it stopped everything. But I do have rifle rated plates on my other plate carriers over there from Defender Armor. The thing about Defender Armor though is they are pretty expensive plates. So as far as these are like 130 or so for a level 3A plates, but rifle plates would be the way to go. And I think Hesco has their special threat plates for like 330 or something like that. So Hesco's would probably be my go-to for a more budget-friendly plate comparable to like a $600 or $700 Defender Armor rifle plate. I've seen some talk around the web that certain states are starting to try to ban body armor. Don't skip past body armor, guys. There's plenty of options out there. I'd suggest doing your own research. This is just what I have, but don't miss your chance to get body armor, because I feel like it's going to be the same situation with the magazines where, oh, I can get body armor anytime I want to, and by the time you know it, they're going to be banned, and you're going to be like Californians where they're like, damn, I should have bought more magazines or something like that. So if you're in California or any of the states where you can actually buy body armor, buy it now. And even though I'm linking all this stuff down below, guys, I'm not making any money off of this. I'm not giving any promo codes or anything like that out. I'm just trying to simply help you out on, I'm just basically wanting to show you some cool stuff that you could potentially get for Father's Day if they have sales or something like that. I don't even know if any of these companies are going to have sales. I know the knives are going to have sales, but just check on everything from here. Now, I know I said I was only doing 10 products and I wanted to throw in one more as a bonus product, but the only reason it's a bonus product is because it's not released yet. It's going to be released sometime at the end of this month or maybe middle of next month or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek on what's coming out new. But this is the Walker's Disruptor ear protection. Now, this is really cool just because it's basically similar to like AirPods, right? So you pop it open, they are rechargeable. This case is the rechargeable case, and when you pop them out, they look very similar to those type of earphones that you would buy at stores. Now, the cool thing about these is these are noise canceling, so they are safe to use on the range. They have these foamies here that conform to your ears. They also have smaller ones. It does have an app where you can adjust the volume on the left or the right or both. The app has a lot of different features on it, but I would keep an eye on these here just because I think they're very cool and lightweight. I used them for the first time like a couple days ago, and they work really, really well. But if you just wanted to use them as normal earphones where you can listen to music or answer calls and stuff like that, you can do that as well on these. So maybe you're out at the range and you set your phone down and you're going out to shoot, and your wife or whoever calls you, you can pick up on your hearing protection, which I think is very, very neat. So look out for those sometime soon. But yeah, that's basically 10 products that I think that were lying around my room here, and I thought it was a good conversation piece to bring up and a cool little neat video to have for you guys. This is my first time doing something like this, so if you guys do like me to show you guys some gear like this, gear ideas, even though knives and flashlights and stuff like that and mags are kind of self-explanatory, I just wanted to bring light to them because I think those are pretty important things to have in your kit. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. I love you all. I appreciate you, and catch you in the next one.